Oh my god. What's popping? Man, it's been... I don't remember how many weeks it's been now. I mean, I've been gone for 3 weeks. And I know I didn't stream for that final week because I was so busy. But 4 weeks since the last stream. Guys, thank you so much for being so patient. Thank you to everybody that is still a member, even though I wasn't here for the entire month. I appreciate you all. For me, it feels weird. I'm so tired. Oh my god. Where's my members at? We're at 669. I'm down 78%, chat. Never mind. Fuck you all. Oh my god. How's everybody doing? Where you been? I've been to Japan. I got some bits to show as well since I got a little haul. I can show some little pickups we got. But I just wanted to talk about I want to show off some stuff, but then also I want to also talk about the situation we had towards the end of the trip where we got stuck in China. And honestly, like, when I think back at it now and talk about it, I feel like I'm invalidating myself. Like, oh, we were only, like, delayed maybe, like, a day in total. But there's a lot of, I guess, other bits and pieces and fear and stuff that I feel like I want to go into and just talk about. And also, like, I don't really have the energy in me to, like, do a full-long stream. But I thought, you know, we'd start by doing something really chill. So which scene do I jump to? I've got like let's do the react one because I've got some bits on the screen. Hold on. Absolute cinema. How's everybody doing? Oh my goodness. So we was stuck in China. It was pretty crazy. Bomber jacket reveal. Yes, sir. I just got back from seeing my mum, dad, and my nan. Dropped off some bits I picked up for them at Mount Fuji, and just some like little bits and bobs. I actually have some other news to share too, because I found out the gender of my sister's baby. She's due in August. I found out that we can start off with something high. My sister is having a baby. I don't know how many people know about that, but it's public now. And the gender for the baby is a boy. So I'm gonna have a nephew. I'm gonna be an uncle. I'm hitting actual unk status now, which is pretty crazy. For real, an unk. Kaisuke, next to the 6 CAD. You know, it was stressful. We've got to admit the Beijing drama was funny. I'm glad we made light out of a bad situation, I think. So many people just re-upped, by the way. I haven't got all of them, but thank you to everybody that did re-up. Appreciate you all coming in now like crazy. But yes, I'm going to be an uncle. I hate babies, but I am very good with toddlers. So I'm really looking forward to meeting the little guy and converting him straight into a Pokemon fan. You best believe I'm gonna make that boy pick between the 3 starters and, you know, record a little clip. But oh yeah, the video that went live was a 1 out of 10, so thank you very much for that. But yeah, let's just talk about it. So music level's good, right? Yeah, it's a boy. Yeah, I said. She's having a baby boy, and I'm gonna be an uncle to a nephew. But yeah, no. So let's talk about this for a second. So it was pretty crazy. So we had our entire Japan trip. It was amazing. I have like so many pickups and stuff. Like you can even still see the yen on that. I don't even know if I overpaid for that, but I've got all sorts of stuff that I picked up from Japan, like Pokemon stuff at least. Some of the boxes got a little bit squashed. I picked up this bad boy. I want to pull the Mewtwo out of that. I think it'd be really cool. But yeah, no, let's set the scene for a second here. So we had finished our trip. We had a really, really good time. There are a couple hiccups here and there. And we were basically flying from Japan. Let me get my bearings here because there's time zones and stuff to bear in mind here. We were meant to fly out on the 21st. I believe it was around like 7 or 8 a.m. And in the UK, because Japan is 9 hours ahead of the UK, that would have been the 20th at like the late hours of the 20th. So 10, 11 p.m. in the UK time, roughly, we were going to fly back to China because we had a connection in China. And the night before, a lot of us were just like, there's no point sleeping, because we had to be at the airport for like, we had to leave the hotel at like 3 a.m. to make it 3 hours before the flight. So it must, I don't even remember what time the flight was. It must have been like 7 or 8, but I know that we wanted to get there earliest, whatever, right? And a lot of us were like, well, there's no point in going to sleep. I did try. It didn't really work. So I was like, oh, whatever. I'm just gonna go downstairs and chill. And then we got our bits and we left to go to Haneda. Is it Haneda or Haneda airport? To fly to China first. So we're at the airport. Everything's fine. We get checked in. We do what we need to do. Wait around, and then we check in, get our bags checked in, and we make our way to China, right? And we were in the air, and during the time that we were in the air, we had no idea, but during the time that we were in the air, we were basically, there was something going on in Heathrow Airport, again, like we didn't know. And apparently one of the substations near Heathrow Airport that supplies the electricity to Heathrow Airport had caught on fire. Apparently it was no foul play or anything like that. It was just something happened and it caught on fire, and that destroyed the electricity that was being supplied to Heathrow. And we're in the air when this is happening, right? So we descend into China, Beijing Airport, and we are happy Larrys. We're like, all right, cool. The first annoying flight is done. Now we've got that long 11-hour flight. We can get some sleep on that flight and make our way back to London. And as we go up the escalators, there's a little gate that's like it's like international, Hong Kong, and some other countries to connect to if you want to, you know, like it's an international connections door, right? And as we walked up to it, there was just an A4 piece of paper taped to the front of the gate, and it just said London power outage. And as we went to go down, they were like, where are you flying? I was like, London. They were like, you gotta turn around, you gotta go this way. And we were like, okay, sure. And then when I went up to the gate or the desk that we were pointed to, the woman behind the counter, and listen, all I have to say about the staff at the airport is that they were incredibly helpful. I count my blessings, because I heard stories about people with far worse situations than us that weren't, you know, helped at all, and we were helped a lot. So I have to give props to Air China for doing what they did for us. But we got to the thing, and it was like, oh, we have a flight for you tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. And I rolled my eyes, and I turned around to my group, and I was like, guys, we're not flying till tomorrow morning. And they were like, what? So we go back to talking to staff, and they're like, you're going to have to get a flight tomorrow morning. And we were like, all right, well, it must be bad. This situation in Heathrow must be terrible. We will have to catch up on that in a minute, but we're just going to figure out this shit, right? Let's get our find our bearings. Let's just figure this out, right? So we go through Chinese border control, because we wouldn't have had to normally do that, because, you know, if you're just going in transit, you don't actually have to enter the country per se. You just sort of like go through the international bit, and then you wait for the next flight. You go straight back into the terminal, and then you just, you know, you fly back out, right? So we had to go through Chinese border control, which was a little bit intimidating, because at the border control, they're quite stoic. They don't really show any emotion, and you don't want to cause any trouble, you know. So they gave us like a 24-hour visa, and we made it into like the main airport. And we're then rushing to sort of like the next spot, which was to get a shuttle to a hotel that they had already put up for us. I guess they already saw or got the news that it was happening, so they went ahead and made the necessary plans to get people that were arriving into China that were supposed to be flying to London, and had already got hotels booked for everybody, right? So we are trying to get some food from this like family mart that's in the airport, and Rob, bless his soul, his card got declined like 4 times, and there's me and a couple of other my friends stood in line like, Rob, come on, we got to get this shuttle, let's get this food. And when his card finally clears, Phoebe's messaging us like, the shuttle is here, you guys got to get here right now, you don't have time, we got to go, they're leaving without us. So we're pissed off. We're like, all right, cool, we start putting our stuff back, and we're making jokes at Rob like, well, if I was able to buy my onigiri, I'd be all right now. I'd be fine. But Rob stopped me from getting my stuff from the supermarket. So anyways, we're then running, trying to get to the bus, and we get taken to this hotel, and it was like, I don't know, dude. I'm going to speak very candidly. It did not feel like a safe space. The area was pretty rough. And the second we walked into the hotel, it just stank of cigarette smoke. It was gross. But I said to everybody, I was like, we just count your blessings. At least we're getting put up for a night. We don't have to pay any extra money. We're being put up, and we are making the best out of this situation, right? So we get in there, we get checked in. They're like, you guys get free dinner at 6:30 on the second floor. So if you need food, you can go there for it. And we were like, okay, well, this is looking pretty good. It's still pretty stinky, but we get in the elevator to go to our rooms, and we walk into our rooms, and the rooms seem pretty nice at first glance. So like, okay, this looks all right. And at second glance, it doesn't look like the rooms are really that clean. And you go into the bathrooms, and there's just like mold, like everywhere. The question was like, do we even shower? Because like, you don't want to like, I don't know much about this, but like one of the friends out there, Carl, was saying, well, you don't really want to shower because if you turn the heat on for the shower head, and then there's all the fog and stuff, or the condensation, all the steam that comes off of running a hot water shower, then the mold then goes airborne, and then you breathe in the mold. Like that's just you're gonna get sick, right? So that was like, wow. After all this bullshit, I can't even really go for a shower. So yeah, there was that. I remember setting my head down from like 3 or 4 p.m. and I slept for like an hour. And I had to get up because I wanted to go get food. We hadn't eaten basically the entire day. So I got up and went to get food. And the food was also really bad. I don't know how many of you guys have like taken fries, like chips, and cooked them, right? Then let them sit for 8 hours. And then thought, actually, I do want to eat those chips now. And then put them in the microwave and reheated them. That was what the fries were. It was pretty bad. It was pretty gross. It's not bad. Thanks for the 6, bro. Thank you so much. I started making my own Pokemon videos. Can you read the question out loud? I am from the Netherlands. Well, thank you so much for the 6. I appreciate it. Well, 6 or 6 euros. Sorry. We are. While I get to this, let me get to the story. What was I? So yeah, the food was bad. It wasn't good. Again, counting my blessings, I'm glad that there was food at all. Because from the experience that Rob had in the airport, it seems pretty difficult to pay for things, right? I remember we went to walk down to one of the shops, and like the majority of us couldn't pay because you had to download like a Chinese app and add your bank details to it in order to pay for stuff over there. And that already felt a little bit weird. So a lot of us didn't really want to do it. And I was trying to figure myself around the app. It was just not working for me, right? So we weren't really successful. We had to ask one of our friends to buy us stuff, and then we had to pay them. And again, the options were not very good. There was like no food in these. It was all like snacks. So I had like, I think on that day, I had 2 bags of crisps, chips, right? And maybe some sweets that I found, like an ice cream or something, but that was what I'd eaten, right? Everything was piss cheap, that is true, but it was just like, it wasn't food. I remember saying to my friends, I was like, I want food. Like I'm eating snacks and it's getting me by, but I want like actual sustenance. I don't feel good about this. So not much luck there. The food at the hotel wasn't very nice. We passed the time and we end up going to bed, right? And I at this point, well, it's before I got to bed. Thanks to
Wait, you're a Brit? I'm so sorry.
Thank you, Nicky. I appreciate that. Thanks you, man. Thanks for 10. Yeah, so everyone's got texts. So this is the next part. We had our flight rebooked for 6:30 a.m. the next morning, and people started getting text messages and notifications saying that their flight had been cancelled at 6:30. And I was like, okay. And mine was saying it wasn't cancelled, but everybody was saying that theirs was cancelled. And I was like, all right, Do we still go? Because we've been told we needed to we need to be in the hotel lobby at 2:30 to check out in the morning and be at the airport at 3 a.m. so that we could make sure we check in for this hotel. Imagining it's going to be really busy because like there's so many people that have been stranded, right? So now that the flight was cancelled, we were like, what do we do? Do we still go? And the group decided actually it's probably a good idea to go because they probably still want us to go there, and also our bags are still at the airport, and also if we go at 3 a.m. it's going to hopefully be quiet and we'll be able to, you know, get everything sorted. So I go to bed struggling to fall asleep. Eventually I fall asleep, and like 10 minutes after I actually like knock out, my phone rings. And it's the airline with a robot voice saying, your flight at 6:30 has been cancelled. And I was like, I fucking know. But then I was awake and I answered the phone. I was up and I was like, what the fuck? And then the rest of some of the group was downstairs. And they were like, yeah, so we're down in the lobby. I can't sleep. Does anybody want to come and hang out? And I was like, oh, you know what? I'll go downstairs. Because to be honest with you, the anxiety was quite bad because of the fact that there was this looming like worry that we were going to be stuck in China for a really long time. The rumors were it was like Heathrow Airport was just not accepting any inbound flights at the time, right? So we were just like, all right, so that we're not getting home right now, and if we go to the airport, maybe they can book something for us, and we can figure out how long exactly we were gonna be stuck in China. And I think the biggest thing about this is the anxiety. When I look back on the amount of time that we were stuck in China for, it wasn't really that bad. Maybe I'm invalidating myself a little bit, right? But being stuck there with the uncertainty of when we were going to get back was the worst, was the part of it that was, you know, difficult to handle. So we go back to the airport, we wake up, or rather, you know, I went down to the lobby. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We went down to the lobby and we were trying to pass the time, and we were making some jokes as we do. And obviously, I'm sure you guys saw this, but we were making some jokes about the news and me in particular. And Ed ended up making, I ended up recording Ed do this bit to take the piss out of like British news and stuff.
Hello and welcome to GBL News. My name is Ed Templar. Today's top story, YouTube micro-celebrity GameboyLuke is stranded in Beijing. More on this story as it develops.
So we had a little bit, we were just, you know, trying to make light of a bad situation by cracking some jokes or whatever. We did this bit, and again, I don't even remember how long it was after this, but we recorded another one, we waited a couple hours, and we were shooting the shit, and then we did another one.
Welcome back to GBL News, an update on our GameboyLuke China stranded story. We have a statement from the content creator himself. Fuck this is some bullshit. Do you know how many subscribers I have? I'll drive from fucking Manchester if I have to. Just get me the fuck home. Frustrations are high, but what will happen with Luke and the rest of the passengers, only time will tell. Ed Templar, GBL News, Beijing.
So we were making light of it, we were having a bit of fun, but realistically, deep down, we were like, when the fuck are we actually gonna get home? Like, when is this actually gonna happen, right? So, whatever, I go to bed, I get maybe 20 hours kip, and my alarm goes off. I was really tossing and turning, like the anxiety, just like, what the hell is gonna happen? I mean, mobilize, get our bits together, and are on our way. Phoebe, bless her soul, flags down the shuttle because it almost left without us because nobody got on it. Everybody else in the hotel must have thought, oh, our flight's cancelled, we'll stay, we'll get all our sleep we can, then we'll go to the airport and figure it out. I'm glad that we went when we were told to, because the airport it could have been far worse. So we get to the airport and we're sat in the airport, I think probably for the best part of like 2 hours in this transfer line. And there to the right of us is like 5 lines of people that are queuing up for a flight to Madrid. And we were sort of like talking amongst ourselves, like, is it a good idea to go to Madrid? because there were rumors about Heathrow still declining arrivals. So there's a massive line for Madrid, and we're all thinking, do we get a flight to Madrid and then just buy a flight to London? Like, a lot of the group, some of the members of the group don't like have the expenses to just drop on up trying to figure out a flight. And also, if we get to Madrid and everyone else is doing that, what happens when we get there and we can't find a flight? So we decided as a group, it'd be a better idea is if we wait. We'll talk to the clerk at the desk, and we will just see what they say and see if they can get us a flight tomorrow, because surely by then the flight will be accepted by Heathrow and everything will be sorted, because at the time it was still on fire. Like, everything was all over the place, and our bags were at a different part of the airport. They had been pulled off the plane and they were just sat somewhere in the airport. We had to go collect those too. So, and also the Madrid flight was 3 hours from when we were in line, and we all thought, well, we'd have to go get a ticket, go get our bags, and then join that line. There's no way we were making that. That's when we made the executive decision. It was like, whatever, we'll try and get a flight for tomorrow. Now, again, I had to sing Air China's praises. They did everything they could to help us, and they did get us home quicker than I expected. So we're in line. Robin, our friend Andre, were talking to the lady behind the counter. And again, it's quite difficult. They do speak English, but there's still a language barrier there. When we we enunciate differently, we talk differently, and they're learning English as like their second language. So there were parts where we were trying to communicate what we wanted, and it wasn't quite going through, and it made it a little bit difficult. But ultimately, she had told us there's a flight for you guys tomorrow. And I looked at the group, we talked about it, and it was like, I think that's the best option. I said to her, if you can put us up in a hotel tonight, then we'll do the flight tomorrow. That's fine. Right? So we have this conversation, and she starts taking our passports off us and the ticket that we originally had to get back to London. And she hands out 3 passports. She hands out our friend Chloe's, Carl's, and Phoebe's passports. And they're all flights for the same day. And we're all like, all right, so I guess we're going today. But we'd already sort of decided between us that we actually didn't want to fly today because it was a higher risk of our flight getting declined by Heathrow. Caitlin, next to the membership, by the way. So we weren't necessarily happy about the fact that we got given tickets for today, because again, it was a massive risk. We didn't know what was going on. And the news, again, my dad was telling me that the news no one knew what the fuck was going on at Heathrow and what the deal was. They were taking flights, I think, from Europe, but Far East flights were just not getting through. So I did think about it, and I was like, well, if we do go today and we fly over Europe and Heathrow says, no, fuck off, we can't take your flight, and we land in like Paris or Northern Ireland or something, at least then we're in Europe and we can use our money, because we were having trouble buying stuff in China, right? So anyways, those 3 get handed out, right? And then a 4th passport gets handed to the other group for a flight tomorrow. So now our group is split up. And we're like, what the fuck is going on? I thought we were trying to get on a flight together, but it just didn't happen that way. And after she like checked us in and done everything, she's like, oh, I can't change it now. And it was like, all right, okay. So 4 of us get their passports back in the other group that are flying the following day. 3 of us have just been given our passports to fly today. Sorry, the other 4 were flying tomorrow. The 3 that got it now were flying today. And then I got my passport last. And the problem is that Chloe and Carl were on a flight for 12:40. And then Phoebe got given her passport and she was flying by herself at 2:40. So there were 2 outgoing flights and we were just fitting ourselves into whatever empty seats there were. And bless Phoebe, she's not the most confident flyer, so she started really worrying and started having like a little bit of an anxiety attack over the fact that she was going to have to try and manage to get herself all the way back to London by herself. And that's a problem because my dad was the one that was supposed to be picking me and Phoebe up, because Phoebe only lives 20 minutes down the road from me, so we were supposed to be traveling together and getting back, right? So bless her heart. And then I got my passport, I checked my ticket, and luckily me and Phoebe got put on the same flight, and she was only sat behind me too. So it was like, oh my God, bless. I was like, Phoebe, it's okay. We're going to be fine. Don't worry about it. We're going to be flying together. I'll get you through this. No big deal. And I'm a confident flyer. I've been flying for 12 years by myself now. So it's just like, well, actually it's 10 years now. But we were like, thank God, everything's fine. The other 4 people that were flying the next day, 3 of them got put on one flight, and then 1 got put on a flight by themselves, which sucked. And we were like trying to get it changed, and she was like, I can't change it now, it's done. And we were like, all right, well, listen, again, I'm trying to keep this cup half full mentality, counting our blessings. We have a flight now. Granted, the 4 of us that were flying on this day were like, fuck, what if we just don't get in? Like, what happens? Nikki Alexa 5. Is your friend Andre American? No, he's British. We were like, we're just gonna have to chance it. And at the very least, if we do land in London, the 4 people that are flying the next day then have the full confidence that, okay, our flight's going to get accepted and we will be okay. So we go through the entire process. China is super weird and super strict because we went through border control like 3 times and we only entered China once. So they're really strict. And our visa was only 24 hours. And I believe when we landed in China, it was about 10, 11, and we were leaving at like 2. So when we went through border, we had technically stayed longer than 24 hours, but they were okay. That was chill for us. Okay, so it was fine. Hi, Rich. So we get through border, we get through security, we do everything we need to do, we get to our gate, and we get on the flight, and me and Phoebe are just like, let's hope and pray everything is fine. Right. I suppose I should mention very quickly as well, during the time we were doing the news bits, I got a DM or message from Hannah Kane that works at the Daily Express, and they asked us for a photo. We took 2 photos, by the way. We took 2 photos. One of them was us smiling. The other one was, Ed said, he said to me, he goes, we took a photo of all of us smiling, right? Because we're just, whatever. And then afterwards he goes, mate, we should probably take a photo with us looking pretty miserable instead. So I actually have both photos, which is really funny. So let's do this. So, so this is the photo of us looking pretty miserable, right? But we had taken a photo here where we were all smiling. But we were stuck with, they decided to use the one. I gave her both, and she was like, the sadder one actually works better here. So, yeah, we did that, which is super funny. Yeah, let me get back. So we got on our flight, and I had been in the sort of like a state of heightened, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Heightened senses. Like, I was just like locked in. I was like, I have to make sure I had to make sure we were getting where we needed to be, making sure Phoebe was good, and just, making sure I was taking everybody in the right place. Thanks for the 5 info, appreciate it. And I was like, right, I got on the flight, we're here, all good. And I was like, right, it's time to lock back in. Oh, sorry, I can unlock myself now. Sorry, I can now just like relax. So I got on the plane, I had like my hoodie and a pillow, and I just led on the tray table and gone. Knocked out, because over the last like 48 hours, I'd maybe had like 2.5 hours sleep. So while I was in China in the first place, to go back on that, we were flying from Japan and we connected in China because China had a direct flight and it was cheaper flights. So we were on this flight and I fell asleep for like 8 hours. My watch says I only slept for 2. So I must have been in and out and in very uncomfortable hunched over position. So it wasn't good sleep, but I was knocked out. And I was knocked out for like 8 of the 11 hours of that flight. And it's my turn on the Xbox. I woke up with 3 hours left on the flight, and every single time the captain started talking, I was like, headphone out, I was listening. I was like, please don't tell me they declined the flight. And normally it'd be like them speaking Chinese, and then after in English, he'd be like, we're about to get some turbulence, so just stay seated. And I'm like, oh, thank God. And I saw the plane fly over Finland and was like, okay, thank God we are in Europe. So if we do get turned around, again, looking at it cup half full as much as I possibly can, cup half full, we're going to be landing in Europe at the very least. Again, the captain talks through the speakers every now and again, talking about turbulence, talking about the fact that we're going to arrive. He said, oh, we're going to arrive shortly. And it was just like, let's go. We're doing it. We're coming back. We're going home. Touchdown in London, get our bags, get everything that we need, get through border control, and my dad's 20 minutes away. Bang, we are now driving back home. Biggest relief of my life. But there's more to the story, because obviously we flew back today, well, yesterday, and the rest of the group still had to fly back today, and they landed about 3, 4, 5 hours ago. So we were keeping up to date with them, and remember, I mentioned we had a 24-hour visa in China, and the guys, actually 3 of them in this photo, 3 of these guys and 1 more, Rob, were on that flight. And when they went to this, they actually got like a nice, decent hotel, better than the one that we were in before. And they went out and had drinks and they got like a nice meal, fortunately. I don't know much about that, but I'm sure that went well. And they got to the airport and managed to get the 4th person on the same flight as them. So they were all flying together, which is a massive W. I'm glad that happened, because like, flying from a country you're not like necessarily familiar with by yourself is a very intimidating experience. Our method was just get shit-faced. You're drinking the copium, right? Okay, thanks for the SP membership, by the way. Appreciate that. So they go through their border control on China's side, and they get a massive bollocking from the border control saying, why did you not fly yesterday? There were flights yesterday. And they're like, we were not put on that flight. There weren't enough seats, so we got put on this flight today. And they're getting like a lot of shit from the Chinese border control. Well, you should have left yesterday. You only had a 24-hour visa. And I don't know the details, but I know that they were talking and they were getting very funny with the Chinese border control. Were getting funny with our friends because they'd stayed too long. And I heard Ed say something about having to pull out like a translation app to be like, yeah, well, we were meant to be on a flight 2 days ago. We don't really want to be here. We just want to go home, and that was it. Like, so they were in a lot of, they apparently got a lot of trouble with, I'm sure Ed in chat will elaborate more on that, but apparently the border control gave them a lot of shit for overstaying their welcome in China. But yeah, dude, they treated me like a terrorist. Jeez. So they treated them like criminals, but they do eventually get through, yeah, they end up flying back today and landing early and landing. Yeah, exactly. As if it was their fault. It was, again, there's a language barrier, so that doesn't help any. But yeah, no, they did eventually get through. They flew today and landed like 5 hours ago. So I think the biggest thing, and again, when I think about it, we were only out at 24 hours, but I think the biggest thing was the fact that we didn't get any sleep. We weren't like fed properly. And there was this heightened elevation that we were, like elevated state where we were in when we were trying to make sure we were figuring out everything. And trying to make sure that I could get everybody in my party home safe. And the uncertainty of flying and whether or not this saga was going to continue. The scariest thing was, it was like, oh, we're only going to be here. Well, we'll fly at 6:30 next morning. It's fine. Then that one got cancelled. It was like, oh shit, the next one's going to get cancelled. And I remember turning to Ed in a line when we were in the transfer line, and he was like, we both sort of like looked at each other. We were both like, I think we're going to be here for a week. And you know, some of the guys that we were flying with have like normal jobs. I say normal jobs, like not YouTuber jobs, right? And they had to do work and they had to get to work. So it was like they were getting fucked over a little bit. Yeah, no, fortunately it did only end up being a full day. I thought it'd be funny actually, because we have the actual thing, and actually this thing's got 17 comments, and I think it'd be funny if I read them. But let's read the document. Let's read the news thing. It says a British tourist has been left stranded in China after his flight to Heathrow was cancelled. More than 200,000 passengers have had their flights to or from Heathrow cancelled because the airport is closed on Friday following a fire at the nearby electrical substation. Victor, thanks for the 5, bro. Thousands of homes were left without power, and more than 100 people were evacuated after a transformer within North Hyde electrical substation caught fire in West London. The airport, which is supplied by the substation, said it was among those impacted by the power outage, and while power has been restored, thousands of journeys remain in chaos. The biggest annoyance to me is the fact that Heathrow doesn't have a sufficient backup power supply to power the airport enough to accept flights in. It's stupid. YouTuber Luke Johnson was flying back from a 3-week trip to Japan with 9 friends when his connecting flight from Beijing to London, which cost around £600, was cancelled. The fire began during our flight to China, Luke from Wiltshire told Express. When we landed, we noticed signs for power outage in London, and after conversing with the staff at Beijing, they told us to get another flight at 6 a.m. the following morning. However, Luke and friends were devastated when the flight was also cancelled, leaving them stranded with no idea when they will be able to get back to the UK. The 32-year-old says he is shocked that something like this could happen to such a major transport hub. The airline has put a group in a hotel for now, but Luke says the situation is less than ideal. We're supposed to show up for our cancelled flight tomorrow, he added. We'll need to renew the visa we have and rebook our flight. I'm really not sure how it will continue, but it's been okay. The hotel has not been best standards, though. There's been mold and the smell of cigarette smoke has overtaken the entire building. It doesn't necessarily feel like a safe area either. The group has been told to head back to the airport in 4 hours to find out if they will be able to board a flight. He said, the whole experience has been tiring, going from the initial feeling of excitement that we're going home, back to the comfort of your own space, and having that rug pulled from underneath your feet as the news transpired has been pretty devastating. I also need to get back to work so I can really because I can only really do the YouTube thing from the computer then, that's back home. A spokesperson from the airport said they had no choice but to close Heathrow until midnight on Friday, or rather midnight on Saturday, adding that it expects significant disruption over the coming days. Later on Friday, Heathrow said in a statement that the airport's backup energy systems worked as expected when the substation fire started. It said, we have multiple sources of energy into Heathrow, but when a source is interrupted, we have backup diesel generators and uninterruptible power supplies in place, and they all operated as expected. But the airport was still fucked. As the busiest airport in Europe, Heathrow uses as much energy as a small city, therefore it's not possible to have a backup for all the energy we need to run our operations safely. We are implementing a process which will allow us to redirect power to the affected areas, but this is a safety critical process which takes time, and maintaining safety remains our priority, so we have to take the decision to close the airport for today. Luke decided to not take my advice of ending his interview with anyway, like and subscribe. I should have done that. It would have been funny. That would have been funny. I don't think we would have added it. But there are 17 comments. Wait, there's 2 top comments. There'll be many similar stories, but the golden rule should always be have sufficient funds to get home. I mean, we did. So if things have really gotten bad and the delays were indefinite, not so in this case, a flight to mainland Europe and a train or ferry to a flight to another London airport would be the answer. They weren't operating flights from China to another London airport. So, no doubt the holiday flights will... Oh, man, thanks for the 20.
BTW, sorry if I kept bothering you on Friday.
No, you're keeping me sane.
Everything worked out for the best.
Yeah. No doubt the holiday flights home from Spain were filled with passengers who arrived at the airport with just enough euros to buy a few cups of coffee, and then the cries got for supplies and nappy med. This guy is so out of touch, it's unreal. Norman, I lived in China for 10 years and found the people to be extremely, is that genius? And the police to be very helpful whenever I had a problem during my 10-year stay. It's amazing. So someone said, so what? Go to Scarborough next year. All right. This is so out of touch. Oh my God. Oh, stop whinging. Man has flight delayed, has to stay in hotel. Is this really news? Oh my days. Oh, it's so funny. That's very funny. Well, if you go traveling off to foreign parts, what do you expect? Oh, these guys are such assholes. Oh my God. Believe me, you learn very little stuck at home in your hovel. He responded to the mum's the word. Yeah, I'll rate this guy. Yeah, thanks for looking out, Norman. Appreciate you, bro. Oh my God. Get yourself a 72-hour visa at the airport and enjoy yourself. I mean, they only gave us 24 hours, so I don't even know what the process was to renew it. If you have time to spare, go buy air. And then someone says, lol, diddums. Brits having trouble on their trip stuck in China, crying a river how delicate these flowers must be. These girls need a little more British of hold. This generation has died out. Yo, these boomer comments are funny. Loads of us in a hotel near JFK. Virgin Atlantic have no idea what to do, it seems. No change there then. It's obviously out of your hands. There's just so much to consider than just you. Dude, why is everybody such pricks when it's like anonymous commenters on the internet, man? And they go, yes, exactly. You should be thinking of others. In fact, you should be thinking of me. I never stopped it. Okay. All right, dude. Well, yeah, so I thought that was funny. That was great. Yeah, these really are Facebook boomers. But that was basically it. The situation was pretty scary. It was just like, I guess again, the problem was just the unknown of like knowing what was gonna happen. I've never been to China before outside of this trip. I didn't necessarily feel safe in the hotel that I was put in. We had no money. Well, we had money. I can spend money, but it was like we didn't have the means to pay for things. And whatever payment methods we had, they just didn't accept, which we didn't have a problem with in Japan. I have like a Wise card, not sponsored, but like that has worked in every country I've been in, but they just didn't have card readers. They had to do it with an app, and you had to tap NFC on your phone. So yeah, it was just insane. It was just insane, but that was basically it. In plus news, Wolfgang, thanks for the 10 gifted, thank you. I did manage to pick up some cool, you know, boxes of Pokemon cards and that, so I might have to do some Pokemon card openings on the channel. I did pick up some Japanese cards too. I managed to get this one. It's called it's an Arita art. I got like a shiny Raikou. I thought was sick. I got this. I got the Celebrations Mew in Japanese. I haven't pulled this yet. I still want to pull this, but I got it in Japanese because that's cool. And then I also got like a Mew EX as well, which I thought was pretty neat. So they're probably overpriced, but it's nice to buy things in Japan. You know what I mean? So open some. I can't open. I gotta do a video for it. But actually, one thing I do want to show you guys. Ed, look after chat. There are more like bits and pieces that I have downstairs. I can't show them everything off now, but I thought it was important to show off probably the best thing that I bought, which is my Wiimote plush. Now tell me this isn't one of the coolest things you've ever seen. Look at this fucking thing. It's huge. Sorry, next to the 5. And the buttons actually stick out. How cool is this? Bro, you should have seen this thing. When I got it out, we had to vacuum seal it. And it looked like, it started when I pulled it out of the vacuum seal bag, it looked completely fucked. I was like, it's over. I was like, this is over. But I left it for a bit and it seems to have gone back to its original shape, which is really cool. This is like Japanese exclusive, right? So I had to get one. When I bought it, I was like, how the fuck am I getting this home? How the fuck am I getting this home? I've got no idea how I'm getting this home. Oh, we shout outs to Rob, my goat, for getting some vacuum seal bags, because that really did the trick. And it needs to be shifted up a little bit. I think the actual like case for this needs to be. Yeah, I want to get the N64 controller next time if I can. That thing is wide though. I have no idea how I'd get that in a bag, but this is it. Now the banana can play the Wii. Yeah, I can put it. He's a Wiimote wielding banana. I managed to get this little. Look at him, little ninja Pikachu. You mean? Yeah, don't worry, Rob. Rob, mine looked like crap. Don't worry. Just I bent it the other way and stood on it for a few like a minute. And then I just left it, and that's how it looks. So it will go back. I've got a little ninja Pikachu. He's very cute. I got some Mew sleeves. I got like a little zip up thing to put your phone in if you go in water. It's a Pikachu one. I got some Mew chopsticks. I got like a this thing, shoulder strap for your phone. Or like for, not even for your phone, just for, no, it is for your phone. It is for your phone. So you can keep your phone on you, which is pretty cool. Hi, Phoebe! I got this to put like a card in, a little keychain for your card or whatever. This, look at this! It's the Game Boy pen! How sick's that? And we went to the Nintendo Museum and stuff, so I managed to pick up one of these, which is just like a little lanyardy thing. It's very cool. Little sticker for your back of your phone that, you know, adhesive, and then it has like a ring pull at the bottom. And even more TCG sleeves and stuff. So, and there's a bunch of other stuff. I got a bunch of t-shirts. You'll probably end up seeing me wear them in videos and stuff like that coming up. I did buy some stuffs. We got like the I can't say his name, is it Nagaba? Sleeve packs which have like some pretty cool cards. If I can get the run out of this, that's worth quite a lot, which would be quite nice. And then we got some of these were given us for free, like the illustration contest packs with our boxes of Heatwave Arena, which I got 2 boxes of. Was that plush from the Nintendo Museum or Akihabara? Which plush? Which one? The Wiimote is from the Nintendo Museum. But yeah, I got like 2 boxes of Heatwave Arena. We bought these for like £30, and they're worth like 110 or something like that. So when we're getting more GB merch, yeah, well, maybe soon. I did get 2 boxes, and I bought extra packs at the Pokemon Center too. And I got like 30 packs of battle partners from the Pokemon Center here as well, on top of Japanese Terrestrial Festival and this box, which have Mewtwo. I don't remember what this set's called. We got the Mewtwo and Mew though. I want to pull that. That'd be super sick. If I can get like the Mewtwo and Mew from this, and I bought the box in Japan, that's just like sick. That's just epic. Epic. But yeah, I did get some other bits. I got like some stuff from Mount Fuji. I got this jacket, which is like the Jurassic World on the back. Very, very cool. And what was sick as well actually, is we ended up going to Universal Studios, and I bumped into a fan out there as well, which was super cool. And also, I don't know how I got this shit back, bro. I'm actually a genius. I must be. But I also got little storage box, but it's a question mark block. How cool is that? Did you go to a 7-Eleven? Several. Yeah, me and Ed were walking around Universal, and we just hear, "Fuck me, is that Game Boy Luke?" Funniest thing he's ever said. But yeah, no, I did get some more bits. I'm trying to think about what else I brought back with me, but there's like a lot of it's just been put up on on my displays and stuff like that. How was the weather? It was freezing. No, Gabe, it was cold. It was so cold. But that's basically it. You got extra 10 euros. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you.
Glad that you are safely back.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Me too.
Get some rest, please.
I will. Trust me, I will. But yeah, I got some cool things. It was the Wiimote. I'm just glad I got this back. That's sick. So, yeah, it snowed in Tokyo twice, which is just like apparently unheard of. So next year, well, no, not next year. Next time I go, I think I would rather go late April, early May, just because of the fact that we have like better weather at that time. Also, Triceps, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing well, bro. Yeah, I honestly, there was a part of me that wanted to go through some of the photos that we took, but I think I'll maybe do that another day because I do want to wrap up here. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you the update, like on the hell was going on and why, like, you know, all that Instagram and Twitter stuff was going on, and get the actual in detail story. When I think about it, it's like not even that bad, realistically. We weren't held back for too long. The bigger problem was definitely that we had like no real idea or clue about what was going to happen to us and when we were actually going to get back. And, you know, with anxiety and the uncertain, you know, situations that you get put in, it makes things feel like 10 times worse. But I could also just be being a pussy. So, I don't know. You tell me. It was pretty weird, but that's basically it. I wanted to run through the story with you guys real quick, just update everybody. I'm going to try and get back on my shit now. I'm not traveling now for probably a while. I'm going to really lock in on content for the rest of this year, I think. I don't really want to fly again, especially after dealing with all that. But yeah, thank you guys for being so patient. Thank you guys for, you know, supporting me and, you know, looking after me. I do really, really appreciate it. But we'll be back with that Radical Red run and that stuff really real soon. And also, the video I posted earlier, which went up late because I'm stupid, is a 2 out of 10 right now. And that's a massive W. So thank you guys for, you know, watching that. If you want to go check out the video and you haven't seen it yet already, please do. But I will, I'm gonna love you and leave you. So I appreciate you all. Have a good evening. And I will hopefully, should be live again tomorrow. All right, cool. That's it. GBL out. GBL micro celebrity lost in Beijing that is now alive and well in London Heathrow is signing off. All right, boys. Have a good evening. I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow, all right? Peace out. Love you.